Hey guys, a couple more thoughts on the Prospect Mortgage, CFPB, Keller Williams, Remax fine that came down yesterday that really rocked the industry. There's a couple interesting points that I want to bring up here. First of all, the fallout. I can't remember the last time I've seen so many loan officers happy about a CFPB fine that was dealt to a mortgage company. Not because it's Prospect, but it's the whole notion of an MSA. I understand the allure of doing this. I mean, if you're going to open up a mortgage company, you'd want to be by real estate companies. It's kind of like if you're going to sell Girl Scout cookies, where do you want to sell them at? I'm going to sell them outside of a pot dispensary instead of outside of a gym. But here's the other point that's interesting that I heard a lot of people talking about here. The second point that the CFPB made is it said, in one particular method Prospect used to obtain referrals under their lead agreement, have brokers engaged in a practice of writing in Prospect in their real estate contracts and their listings. Writing in meant that the brokers and their agents required anyone seeking to purchase a listed property to obtain pre-qualification with Prospect, even consumers who had been pre-qualified for a mortgage with another company. This is a whole can of worms because this has been going on since 2008 with a debacle when you had agents with mega listings and they were funneling everybody into their one lender. Oftentimes it was companies like Wells Fargo, but even before that, this is standard practice in new home building. So if the CFPB is going to go after Prospect, in this case for having somebody write into a contract or into a listing that you have to get pre-qualified with my mortgage lender in order to get this house, clearly that's steering. Everybody's always known that, and I think that's why loan officers are applauding this. But right now, the CFPB, if this is the new precedent, then what they can do is they can go back, and we know the CFPB doesn't look at a statute of limitations, which means they'll go back as far as they want to go back. They'll do what they want to do. They have a whole litany of mortgage companies that they can nail for this. And it'll be interesting to see what the fallout is as a result of this case. The other ripples, like I said before, is policy through punishment. The CFPB lets you know what the policy is by punishing somebody. So for real estate companies who aren't familiar with this, you now know the policy. That if you're engaged in these type of MSAs or in this type of behavior with a mortgage company, you now could find yourself in the crosshairs of the CFPB facing punitive actions from them. And by the way, they will in fact do it. But here might be the most interesting part of this, and I think this is going to happen. Let's think about this for a second. You're a consumer who used one of these real estate companies and used Prospect Mortgage. And now you're looking at this and you're seeing what's going on because let's face it, it's plastered everywhere now. And they said, oh, well, I had a lender before who I was working with and they forced me to use this guy. Or maybe, just maybe, there's a disgruntled loan officer who said, I lost business as a result of this and I know who the people are. Hell, they might even be my friends. So what it does is it opens the door for a lawsuit that a consumer could now bring against the mortgage company and the real estate company for being steered into using a lender they didn't want to use. This opens the door for every consumer that got a loan from Prospect Mortgage and these real estate companies to go and take punitive actions against both the real estate agents, the real estate companies, the lenders, and the mortgage companies. Or you could even say a class action lawsuit. Now, I'd hate to see this come about, but boy, it really does make you wonder, doesn't it? And it really brings us full circle on this right now. Everybody's always trying to find a way to get a competitive edge. This is no longer the steroid era in mortgage lending. You have to play by the rules. So if you're engaged in an MSA right now, I know you have a legal department that told you that this is probably okay. But understand that the CFPB has taken down the likes of Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. And I guarantee you, they have better legal departments than you do. And if they can take them down, I don't think your legal department has a chance, at least at this point. And these ripples will be felt for a long time to come. I'm convinced.